Time for a check-in. And this check-in is about the word check-in. Like, really? There's going to be a check-in about checking in? What? Hannah, are you running out of material? No, actually, this has come up because the language pattern that is associated with the agreements, which is a style of communicating, one of the words I use constantly is checking in. That's how I came up with these segments. But I want to tell you what checking in is, but let me show you what it's not. It's very different than just talking, because that's one of the things I've been asked, well, you're saying check in. Are you just talking? Why not just call it talking? Well, it's not. And so let's look at the difference a little bit. You ready? A little role playing here? All right, you talk at me. No, really, go ahead. I can hear you. No, I can hear everything you're saying. No, really, just you start talking in the camera, and I'll put away the laundry and pick up all these toys that my kids have left around, and maybe I'll work on my smartphone, and oh no, I'm listening, really. I'm just gonna look for this coupon here and see if it sounds. Yeah, no, yeah, sure, I completely agree. What? Huh? Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Just keep talking. I'm going to go over here. What? No, you can yell at me, really. Just yell, and I'll hear you. Really, you can hear me, right? You can hear me. We can hear each other really clearly, right? Sure, no problem. There we go. How many of us as moms or dads or multitaskers can find ourselves communicating like that with our children, with our spouses, our coworkers, heck, even the cashier while they're checking us out? We're on to the next idea. It's a very disconnected way of communicating. And checking in means to do exactly that, to check in and connect with the person that you're talking to, that your body language, that you're down low, that you're communicating at eye level with an inside voice, not across the room, but really with that person saying, I care about you. I'm checking in, which means I see what your body's saying to me, because it's not always words, right? Feelings can be missed. Maybe you hear my voice, but if my arms are crossed and my mouth is saying one thing, my body's saying another, I can see that. I can be part of that conversation with you. It shows I care. So checking in is, when I say checking in, and you really want to have an effective communication style with anyone, hold eye contact with them. Be in close enough proximity that you're kind of drowning out the other distractions. If it's not a good time to check in, if you're not emotionally present or not physically present, it's okay to say, I kind of need a minute. Yes, let's check in, but let's check in a couple of minutes. Now it's up to you to honor that agreement. You just made a little verbal agreement right then and there with them. And in order for someone to trust you and have respect for you, you have to honor your agreements. And then you come back and you have that check-in. And that check-in is the opportunity to listen, to hear what the other person's saying, to offer, your thoughts, and everybody's doing it in a way where they're respecting each other. And I know that's easier said than done. And if the other person isn't being respectful of you, and they're rolling their eyes because they're a teenager, and they've got a million other things that they want to be doing rather than listening to you, we'll keep the check-in straightforward and simple. Do it at a time that you feel like is the least will provoke the least amount of distress for your child. I find that in the moment, during a rebel-rousing little frustrating moment with my children, that may not be the time to check in. It may be after the moment. Even with my husband, things have cooled off, and I'll say to my husband, in fact, even today, we had an incident today with a car, and the car got stuck in a little dirt puddle, pond, moat. It was gone. It was in there. And my husband was really frustrated and angry at the car, not the kids. And my children got really fired up because they thought, Dad's upset. We don't know what's going on. There was nothing communicated. So they truly thought it had something to do with them. And they were really frustrated. In that moment, it wasn't time for me to check in with anyone other than pull the kids aside. I talked to them, of course, a little bit when they had calmed down. But they were pretty upset. And in that moment, had I tried to explain the details, they wouldn't necessarily have been receptive to it. And then later, when I said, hey, honey, I want to check in with you about this topic, I waited till I felt like he was ready, and then I was able to communicate with them, hey, if I could have rewound that moment, this is how I would have done it differently. This is what I've noticed. What did you notice? Or did you notice anything? Or did you notice that the kids were upset about this? And it allowed us to make plans, at least try to learn from our mistakes, and maybe the next time do it a little differently. So that's what a check-in is. When you're checking in, just bring your body into the conversation. Bring your heart. Bring the idea that you're there to help, and that you're using positive words in a way that you're allowing the other person to feel like you care. Okay, so there's our check-in. We did it in 5 minutes. Yay, gotta go. Bye.